Want to learn what comments are and how to use them? Want an understanding of the basic idea behind the Zen of Python? If so, stay tuned. Hello and welcome to Learn Python. In the previous lesson 6, we looked at how to make large numbers easier to read in Python using underscores, how to assign values to multiple variables on a single line, what constants are and why capital letters are used for values that should not change. In today's lesson number 7, we will look at what comments are and how to use them, and what the Zen of Python is, and why clear, simple, readable code matters as you continue learning Python. Part 1 will begin with comments. A comment is a note that you write inside of your code for humans to read. Python ignores comments when the program runs. That means comments do not change what the program actually does. They are there purely to explain the code. In Python, a comment starts with a hash symbol. Type the following: hash, say hello to everyone. Take a new line and print hello Python people. And run this. In the terminal, you will see printed hello Python people. But what happened to line number 1, say hello to everyone? Well, that's the point. Python ignores this because it's a comment. It only ran the second line. So the basic rule is this: anything that comes after the hash symbol is treated as a comment. Comments are useful because as your program gets longer, it becomes harder to remember what each section is doing. A short note can make your code much easier to understand later. And that matters because a lot of program is not just writing code. It is also reading code that you wrote earlier and are trying to understand quickly. Now, the next question is not just how to write comments, but what kind of comments you should actually write. A useful comment explains what the code is trying to do, or why a certain approach was chosen. For example, write a comment: store the user's score before resetting the game. Take a new line, create a variable called score, and assign the value current score. That is a useful comment because it adds context. It explains the purpose of the line. Comments become especially useful when a program gets longer, or 2, you come back to an old code after days or weeks, or 3, when another person reads your file. And this is important. When you're writing a small beginner program, it's easy to think, I will remember what this does. But later, and very often, you will not. So comments save time. Now, that does not mean that you should comment every single line. For example, hashtag print hello, then call the function print the word hello, This is not a very useful comment because the code is already pretty obvious. So a good rule of thumb is the following. If a line or block of code is not immediately obvious, or if you had to think carefully about your solution, that is a good time to add a comment. You can also use comments very simply in early practice files. For example, you could use it to remember the name of a person collaborating on a file, or the date, or simply what the program does. This is perfectly fine for a beginner. Let us perform a quick practice task. Type the following: hashtag this program shows a simple welcome message to the user. Then print welcome to the program. Before you run the program, what do you think might print? Running the program, we can see printed in the terminal is welcome to the program. Is that what you thought? Well, you would have been correct. Now, change the comment. For example, delete the end. Before rerunning the program, guess again. What do you think will be printed? Now that we have rerun the program, we can see again printed was welcome to the program. So this hammers home the point that a comment is a useful note for the human, but Python ignores this note and it does not in any way affect what's being run in the program. Now let us finish lesson 7 with a famous little Python tradition. In Python, type this into the interpreter. Import this and run this. In the terminal, you will see the following. This is called the Zen of Python. It is a short collection of guiding ideas about good Python code. You don't need to memorize this, but a few of the ideas are worth understanding early. And the general idea is the following: that good Python code should be clear, simple, and readable. That means that you should not make code more complicated than it needs to be. You should prefer simple solutions when possible. And also, write code that other people can understand. This matters because programming is not only about making code run, it's also about making code understandable. A clever solution that nobody can read is worse than a simple solution that works clearly. A famous few lines from the Zen of Python are: beautiful is better than ugly, simple is better than complex, readability counts, and now is better than never. Those lines are not just philosophy. They are practical advice also. If your code is simple and readable, it will usually be easier to fix, easier to improve, and easier to trust. So when you see the Zen of Python, think of it as a mindset. Keep things simple, keep things readable, and avoid unnecessary complexity. And that wraps up today's Lesson 7, where we looked at what comments are and how to use them, and also discussed the Zen of Python and why clear, simple, readable code matters as you continue learning Python. If you like this video, please do subscribe and leave a like. It really helps the channel. And join us in the next lesson where we will learn what a list is and how to access list items using index positions. And finally, how to use list items with string methods and f-strings.